Hi friends, good evening and welcome to IBM TV Startup Wednesday. And this is your host Ankit Khanelwal joining you from Delhi, India. And we have Nick Palavida joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome, Nick, on IBM TV. You are the
I've
executive
been
producer.
there before.
Welcome to you today.
But what I really like is our guest and our panelists. We're going to bring them on from all over the world. First of all, we'll bring in Alexander Starr, who runs Chess Stars on Saturday and Investing with Sasha on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, which will actually be today, right, Sasha?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. And I'm
Fantastic
dying.
show.
I'm dying to find out who's going to be on Chess Stars coming up this Saturday because you run a terrific show there. So, who do
It
we
might
have?
be you, by the way.
It might be me.
Yeah.
But we need some guy who's good at chess. So I'll find somebody. I got a couple people that I've been in contact with that are pretty
No, what
good at
I'd
chess.
like to do on Saturday, I'll tell you, is a show about correlation between chess and investments. I've already explored this on an investment show, but now remember Ken Regan, who was my guest on Saturday. He will be this Saturday again, and
Really?
I've discussed with him this approach about chess and investment. He's very, very interested.
Really?
Very interested. But my problem is that a guest that I wanted really to bring on Saturday, she's Grandmaster Angelina Belakovskaya.
Okay.
Professional.
What about Ron Henley? He's done a lot of investing and also is in chess. He does chess and investing. Ron, I know Ron.
Yes.
I'll ask him to show up.
You can ask him. I know him, but I don't think that I'm in a position to.
I'll ask him. I
ask him if he wants. I'll be glad to have him.
Right. No, I think that would be good as chess and investing. I think that would be a great show because there's a lot of people like Patrick Wolf who does investing also in chess, does professional investing. I mean, he used to run Cassia, Capital, but I don't know what he's doing now. But there's a high correlation. Bose Weinstein, chess master, does a lot of.
There is only one thing, Nick, I want you to appreciate is that the problem is that people, for example, professional investors, for example, like Shaquille, right? He will be today on our investment show. See, Shaquille approaches investment from the professional point of view of hedge fund, that they have certain lock-in strategies, they have tiny spread between volatility here and volatility there.
Yeah, it's different.
They're making maybe a quarter of a point, but because of the size, what they're operating with, that quarter of a point.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, right. It's different when we do high frequency volume trading. Right. So I totally agree. Then individual investors do a whole different
exactly.
Right.
I'm of the view that very soon, much sooner than I think. I thought it's about in 5 years. I think it will happen much sooner. I think investing is the only survival tool that people will have at their disposal. There will be no jobs, there will be no social assistance, there is no government handouts, nothing. So only way that you will learn to invest and make even like $300-400 a day, which is very easy, and any idiot can do that. So if you can make $300-400 a day, you can survive. Okay, you are not going to be.
You're not going to be rich, but you're making it. Right.
You can survive. You can put bread on the table. You can buy steak once in a while.
Yeah. I couldn't survive, but you could survive on $300 a day. I burned too much money, baby. It ain't gonna happen.
Listen, of course you have to go down in your standard.
Right, you're gonna have to watch the spending thing. Yeah, you got
it. But if you know how to make $300-400 a day, you can double your size of investment. Make $800 a day. $800 a day. Okay, you are not gonna die.
You'd be okay. Right.
You'll be around for a while. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah, and I totally agree with that. So what we're going to do is add to the stream from the United Kingdom, otherwise known as Great Britain, from all you other low-end countries like India, United States, Canada. We have Ben Coates from Mogu's Media. Ben, how are we doing in the Great Britain?
I was a bit worried there when Sasha said any idiot can invest. I thought you were going to bring me straight in there, Nick, to be honest with you. But no,
he didn't address you directly. He was thinking about Ben, but go on.
Sasha wouldn't be like that. I'm really, really good. yes, I'm really, really good. Business has changed again in Great Britain. And we are now allowed conferences of up to 30 people, which we weren't allowed yesterday. So, yeah, things are changing, and we've got to be positive, as this channel always is. So, yeah, good afternoon to all the viewers from Britain.
Yeah, to make sure we're equally represented in our discussions, we're going to add in the socialist, the communist, the person from the Socialist Republic of Silicon Valley. There he is, Jim Eade. Welcome to the show. How are we doing in the socialist world of Silicon Valley?
Well, when I heard Sasha is going to bring Shaquille on, I brought my referee jacket shirt so that I can keep them in neutral corners. Mm-hmm. But it's doing well out here. We did the typical shelter in place, and then we tried to open up, and we started to spike in our cases, and then we shut down again. So we're now in our second shutdown period, and it's mentally more tiring than it is physically difficult to get around, because you cannot go out and socialize like you used to. You cannot just do the normal things that you're accustomed to doing. And once it's, for a month, fine. 2 months, okay. 3 months getting old. 4 months, 5 months. Now you're starting to get on people's nerves. So we're not adjusting quite as well as we did when the first shutdown occurred.
Socialize like you used to. I'm a chess player. I socialize by playing chess on the internet. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, and you can also text message. That's socializing.
And I can text message. I mean, I got everything I want to in my own little bubble here. So why do I have to go outside anyway?
I constantly refer to being hug deprived. Hug deprivation is a real thing. I just don't get that hugs that I used to. And there's something about communication by hugging that is more efficient and effective than by words. So, I'm just feeling the lack of the touch of other human beings.
Well, but they locked you in your own little world there, and I think you look pretty safe there. I mean, we're safe now, so be good with that, Jim.
Well, and, just like Lynn says, I don't want you to get a computer virus.
There you go. That would actually work. But I have some exciting news. Tomorrow we're going to have the Genius of the Year in 2017 Beyond Mensa person, super genius. Julian will be joining us at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So his processing skills are so fast, you can ask him any question you like. He'll know the answer to it.
Does he go by one name like Cher and Madonna?
No, just call him Julian. Anyway, I dug him out. I'm sitting here going through all the high IQ groups trying to dig out the super genius, and I found one. And I got him to go on TV tomorrow, so we should be able to see him tomorrow at 10 o'clock. All the panelists, you can ask him any question you want. You can beat him up. Do whatever our panelists do. He has some insights on Haruki Nakamura, which I don't know if he's going to announce but it's public information. You'll find very interesting insights on Haruki and some other people. So I thought it's pretty good. I just did a pre-interview with him this morning,
is he a capitalist?
Which I normally don't do. You ask him that question. How should I know? Communist, man, dude? How would I know? And as a matter of fact, I know if you go to the investment show, all you're interested is after Sasha and Shaquille invest, whoever makes the most gets distributed equally among. I know that. But see, Jim, what you want to do is have Sasha accumulate a lot of money, Shaquille accumulate a lot of money, give it all to the state of California so you can distribute to everybody equally.
Well, right. We're still giving too much of our money to those guys.
I would like to clarify one thing. Last week, I've indicated that I'm willing to have funds or private or whatever money it is and manage it on one of two conditions. Either I get 25% of net profits after commissions and everything, and the second proposition, 50% of the profits, but I guarantee with my own money any and all losses whatsoever. However,
Sasha, I can tell you this: no professional investor in the world would offer that. That's kind of I heard that offer
because they cannot operate small portfolios.
Oh yeah,
they can operate $100 million and get 1/8 of a spread and run
Sure.
it and invest.
You know,
hundreds of thousands
well,
of dollars.
it's because the risk in the market, they just get like that. Because when we run our pension funds, okay, we run our pension funds, used to be a 3% guarantee. I'd have 3% guarantee contracts, which sound good now, but you know, in worlds past, and I still have some. I've got a lot of clients today. They're sitting in 3% guaranteed forever money. Like, no kidding. Worst case
Very
scenario,
good deal.
they make
Very good deal.
3%. I even had the contract in our plan. So, you know, you could buy that. Today, you can't buy that. The best you get is maybe 1.5% guarantee forever contracts in
Most
pensions.
likely 1%.
Yeah, most likely one. A lot of them are just one. And I mean, when I'm talking guaranteed
Sasha's
for,
happy.
yeah, Sasha's happy. This really bothers me about the market
All
because
great, Sasha.
the only thing I can think happen is that the Congress has agreed to some sort of deal to stop mortgage foreclosures and stop the bleeding that's happening in the United
Actually,
States.
this is very bad for the market. If that will happen, the market will go down a couple thousand points.
Really?
Why? Absolutely, because
Yeah.
the real estate properties are all going down.
Yeah. What would
property and there is someone, renter or whatever, who is there, and you cannot evict him, then your property is worth nothing.
right?
You lost all your equity.
No, I
upfront.
totally understand that. I think better is to say, okay, what we're going to do with the unemployed people is do supplemental unemployment payments, which actually do exist in pensions. They're called SUPs. And the thing is, if they did that till now and the end of the year, that would probably solve all our problems except one thing in the United States. Our debt load would increase another $3.5 trillion. But everything else would be solved.
Nick, okay, I have American Express card with no limit. I can charge on that card just
with no
whatever
limit.
amount.
Sasha,
No-
no limit
no
on
limit.
your American Express
The
card?
black card.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's go to Miami. I did this for the founding family of Coca-Cola. I got some boats. We'll see if you can buy it with it. We bought a boat for this guy
I have
for
no
1.2
problem
million.
with that. However, but if the Florida is a dubious proposition because
Yeah,
I will
that's
not be
right.
able
You
to
get
get there.
coronavirus, right? Sorry about that. There's
No,
issues.
however, let me talk about something.
Sure.
So essentially, because the only government, only country in the world that can print US dollars is United States of America. Nobody can do that, right? And there is no limit how many dollars America can issue. So in a time like this, when Donald needs to win election, when there is a coronavirus, when there are fights and civil unrest and everything else, why not to issue $25 trillion and just do social works and cover all payments, give every person $10,000 cash just to gamble and go to Las Vegas, do anything, whatever. Just discretionary $10,000. You don't even have to pay tax on it, nothing. And just do that. What's wrong with that? Why Donald doesn't do exactly that?
Like
Our
that.
dollar would collapse internationally.
No,
Divided to dollars.
cares? Who cares? So it will collapse anyway. So at least you tried. At least you fought. But you go just like this. Okay, you want to die as a brave man or as a coward? That's the question. Die as
What's
a
more
brave
to the breach?
man. Fight. Come on.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, well, we could do that, print money. We actually did that in 1862 to raise money for, like I said, for the Civil War effort. And the government actually raised over $400 million by printing greenbacks. So can it be done? The answer is yes. There's historical precedence for that.
And just do it.
And the thing is, they could do that, and they could even do that and cover the national debt. Okay, but that's what they could do. What they will probably do is issue some more debt again, and from the federal government, just stack the $23 trillion with another $3.5 trillion in debt, and distribute funds, unemployment checks, and checks to people, so they can sit around and wait. We can then use our cheap American dollars to buy those expensive goods over in Britain. And bring them over here. Oh, wait. See, Ben woke up. Ben woke up. You know. Hey, listen. Here. This is something that's going on right now. I can fly from Raleigh to Seattle and back round trip for $107 on Frontier today. I fell on my chair. I told my wife, because we love Seattle. Okay, we used to live there. $107. There's no way they can make any money on that. But there's only one problem. Will I catch coronavirus sitting on a Frontier flight from
But
here
that's
to?
free. That's free of charge anyway. Why would you worry about it?
Well, even with coronavirus
goes
comes
with the
at no
peanuts.
extra charge. Yeah, hey, we'll move over to Hong Kong. See if we can. Rakesh, good to have you here.
Thank you.
On tomorrow, we're actually going to have the Genius of the Year in 2017 come here, a super genius, real one.
Wow.
That's going to be here tomorrow at 10 o'clock, in case you want to join us on IBM TV. Actually, there's an award. There's a World Genius Society. I don't know anything about that. And apparently there's an award that comes out every year. He won the World Genius of the Year award in 2017.
Wow.
He's going to be joining us tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I actually did a little intro with him today, but he wasn't really prepared to get on TV because his hair was disheveled. He wasn't shaved. He goes, getting on
That's a
TV.
genius for you.
There you go. Okay. I said that's perfect. Okay. So then you can ask him any question you want. He knows the answer to everything. As a matter of fact, he has a solution to coronavirus. You name it. He's got it. So that's tomorrow night.
I'm more interested in the Nakamura story.
Oh, he's got a big Nakamura story. A lot of people don't know who he is. So we have to, as they say in law, you got to build a foundation. First of all, who is Haruo Nakamura? Ask him that. Then the next question, Jim, he took an IQ test. How did he do? That is really going to excite you, what happened there. So, Rakesh, in the wonderful world of Hong Kong, how are we doing out there with coronavirus, and what's the situation in China right now?
In terms of the coronavirus, we're still being very careful. The number of infections are coming down to about 80 a day. Instead of, it was 140, it's now coming down to 80. We're having a lot of rain, so a lot of people are traveling by their private transport. So not much public transport is being used. But otherwise, nothing that I have noticed in the newspapers that stands out.
Are your schools open? Because we're opening our schools here in the United States.
Schools are open.
Schools are open. How about in Great Britain? Schools open over there?
They have been. We're now on our summer holidays. We have a 6-week break during the summer. So they were open for three of the younger years. None of the secondary years were open, and they're open to open them all up back in September, when everybody must go back. The thing is that during lockdown we have a fine system. If your kids don't go to school, you get fined. They'd stop that, and so the pressure wasn't on the parents to send the kids back. But from September, when they go back, they have to, otherwise the fine system comes back in. In other words, the local councils need some more money. But that's allegedly, of course, allegedly. Allegedly, Jim, yeah. But that's where we're at really with the schools.
Well, how is this going to work? Okay, kids go to school. Now, when the kids go to school, they don't have any contact with each other. The coronavirus will not spread among them. This is, I guess, what's going to happen. Then when they go back to see the parents, because I assume they'll go back home at some point in time, no one's going to have coronavirus. Nothing's going to spread. When the parents go see the grandparents, nobody's going to have coronavirus and nothing's going to spread. Is that what's going to happen, Ben?
There's a difference in what's meant to happen and what is going to happen. We're all at risk, aren't we, all the time? Let's face it. You could walk out the door and you could, sadly be knocked over or something. We have to get to a situation where we have to do things. We have to do them sensibly. I was on a meeting before this, and I said to somebody, this is if we take out all the positives, the problem with the UK is it's been quite a disgusting country health-wise. For example, I mean, hand sanitisation to a lot of people, it's brand new.
I'll take that under advisement next time I go over there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, fortunately, so we are going to become a lot cleaner country, and hopefully, we do take people's personal space more into consideration. But if we do that, we should be able to get back to some kind of normality. We've got to. The government is stopping the furlough scheme this week coming. The end of next month. So they're not going to pay people's wages. So we're back to where we started with the conversation in regards what Sasha said about paying people out by the government. Our government have been paying wages now for 6 months, but that stops it. People have now got to pay contributions towards NI from the 1st of August, and then from the 1st of October, it totally stops. So we're coming to crisis point. Jobs are going by the day. We've lost another 1,500 from WH Smith today. Obviously, Virgin over in the States has filed today, which is really bad news. So we're not in a good state, but the answers are out there. It just depends if the governments want to take them and if it's profitable for the governments, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ben, I heard and I read this article, and it was about a UK school having to close down. They opened up and then they had to close down. Now, it wasn't about London, so I'm not sure where it was in the UK. But did you hear anything about that, like a school opening up and then having to shut down because of COVID cases?
Yeah, it wasn't far from me, Jim. That school wasn't. It was actually in the Midlands, so it's quite well publicised. It's like a spike, isn't it? They consider the school to be a spike, and what the UK government are trying to do is to narrow down. For example, there was a pub in a place called Stone recently that some of the scenes there were ridiculous. It was like a normal Saturday night, and there was a big spike of cases in that area. They've all been traced back to that pub, and that pub now has gone out of business. It's just killed them. Because I think we get into a legal and a moral argument here, Jim. Legally, you might be able to open. Morally, it could cost you your business. And that's the danger you've got.
Okay, and Ben, you run this, what do they call it, the power of positive thinking, positivity thinking and all that stuff. So tell me, when somebody's got coronavirus, sitting on a ventilator, it's about to die because they made a horrible mistake, like they sent their kids to school. Tell me what sort of positive things you can tell people about that situation.
It's education, like anything, Nick. It's education. If somebody has made the mistakes, and you don't know what mistakes they've made, every case is individual, you have to teach others not to do their mistakes, and then we will get to the bottom of it. But of course, we're dealing with people. We're always dealing with people.
I understand that. But see, here's what my thinking is the real problem with the mistake. Okay, there's some mistakes then in life you can go back and correct if you want to correct it in this life. If you get coronavirus and sitting on a ventilator, last data I read, 58% will not come off the ventilator alive. Okay, they die, and they made a mistake. It's not like chess. Oh, I made a mistake. I resign. Let's go play another game. Okay, they die. Right? Shouldn't we be a little bit more diligent in watching this particular coronavirus as opposed to the lackadaisical attitude I've seen in this country? I'll take my chances.
I think I think this country's lackadaisical situation comes from more from those that are making the decisions than the actual people. I think the majority of people have been really sensible and have seen us through this. I think it's the dithering of our government that's the problem. They're not strong enough. And then, of course, our law enforcement and I don't know which way to go. I've had it in the meeting this morning where new guidance has come through, which is different to yesterday's guidance. And we're all talking about why we should wear masks. What about we should wear masks because it will help others? Not why we should wear them. We should wear them out of our own conscience. We should wear masks because it stops others getting it. That's the key. That's the key message. That's got to be the switch.
Yeah. Well, no, I understand that's a message, but also I've seen messages, at least on this crazy thing called Facebook. I don't know if you've ever seen that program. People are going like, well, wearing a mask. I've seen studies that masks don't help you. I'm serious, Rakesh. Over here, there's people that are posting all the time. Mask will not help you. Mask. Well, okay. Let's assume that they were correct. Then social isolation will help you. I mean, that's almost like a proven. So if masks don't help you, then let's not send the kids to school. It's not economically essential that they go to school, and make them stay bloody home and stop spreading this stupid thing. But I believe that's not what's going to happen. There's some weird thing that they believe that if people are in school, they'll learn something, but online they can't learn anything. Now, Rakesh, you run a online education program, right? Tell me, the people that sign up, they don't learn anything, do they, in what you teach?
No. They learn a lot. It's a one-to-one class. There's no way they can, not learn. And if you're a teacher, there are hundreds of ways you can test their learning. So if anybody says that online you can't learn, yes, that's just nuts. If they can learn online, the only thing they probably miss is the competitiveness in a class when the teacher asks a question to an open class and the student wants to be the first to answer, but even that can be managed online.
Yeah.
So I would say other than social skills, that's probably the only thing they would miss. And I don't think anybody died because they didn't get social skills.
Good point. Yeah, and Kit.
I didn't.
So, the reason is that everyone is learning online basically, but teachers and students, they're not trained to learn online and they're not trained to study online. And especially, students who are primary class students basically, because they don't know how to study and how to talk to your teacher while online, because online they have a bracket like 30 minutes or 45 minutes of slot or maybe 1 hour. And in that 1 hour, teacher have to cover the course as well and they have to interact as well. And then they have to make sure that the bandwidth also works and they have all the elements to showcase. So it's a little difficult for primary students, but students who understand the technology, they are ready to learn and they are doing a lot of online studies and online courses and online exams as well. So for them, it's not a problem. But teachers are not trained as well to basically study online. So,
right. Yeah. So the thing is, there's actually a merit to literally forcing online education and forcing people away from this, hey, I got to sit in a desk next to another person. Because one thing it forces is this, which I just found out the other day. A lot of people in the United States do not have access to broadband internet. And the studies range from 23 million to 162 million. I was going like, what? They don't have broadband? We're in the United States of America. We don't have broadband. Part of it is we price our pricing is so high. We're like number 3 in the world. And that's wrong. I mean, the thing is, we should be on the cheaper end, not the more expensive end. And so what we do is we cut out a lot of the students. That's wrong. And we can solve that by pressuring people not to go to school. So I believe, and I'll go on record, that the United States of America is taking a very horrible approach to this once again, because I said this back in March when I said, there's going to be 100,000 deaths when we have like 3,000. And why is it going to be so many? It's the way we're approaching this. We're not serious about it. Now we're over 150, 160,000. Duh. Okay, here's another. Duh. Okay, this whole you got to go back is going to be absolutely horrible. It's going to be a wreck, and it's just like, hey, we're going to reopen the bars. Yeah, nobody can. They did that here, Rakesh.
In New Zealand, as of today, every landlord has to provide high-speed fiber internet to the tenant on demand.
Wow.
Really? Okay, wow. Yeah, but see, that's New Zealand. That's a civilized.
Where it's available, right, you have to provide it. That you cannot avoid. That's the law as of today.
Oh yeah. Well, I actually love New Zealand. I was trying to figure out if I had any place in the world I could live. I would live in.
They have a woman prime minister.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is also oddly enough, it's absolutely a gorgeous, beautiful country.
It is.
There's no problem with New Zealand. It's a gorgeous, beautiful country. Now, I like
time to get there.
It's hard to get there. I like Australia. Don't get me wrong. It's not a drop-dead gorgeous country like New Zealand is. See what I mean? There's the difference. The scenery in the South Island, the North Island is spectacular. And so, and you're away from people. I kind of like that. There's only like 4 million people living there. So, it fits the chess player mode. You're away from everybody. You're with beautiful scenery. Come on, New Zealand, what's not to like?
I'm not meeting Jim in New Zealand for a pint, though, no matter how much he asks me. I mean, it's a bit far for a beer. But Nick, just coming back to your mask point, just come back to your point about masks. Does not wearing a mask, could that help you at all? The answer obviously is no. Could wearing a mask possibly help you?
Yes.
So yes. See, you're doing social calculus and my social, what I call empirical analysis. If you wear a mask, if you wear the right mask, if you wear a helmet, the more you put on and you prevent your face from interacting with other people, the better off you're going to be and the ability not to contract it. And that's the reason social isolation actually is the best. And then the next thing, of course, is if you actually do bump into people, wear a mask or wear some face protection. But I'm telling you, Ben, the attitude, and I could go right now to my Facebook page and go page after page after page, where people are promoting, usually from one political party, okay, in the United States, that just so happens to hold office here in the top parts of the United States, keep promoting don't wear mask. And I just go, they're doing, and they show studies that, oh, well, these people say you don't have to wear a mask. Oh, well, and the thing is, they're totally empirically wrong. So I totally agree with you. But
we've got a businessman who lives in Monaco that's telling people in Britain not to wear masks. How
Really?
does that work? He lives in Monaco.
Yeah, of course. Why does he care? Go ahead. Don't wear the mask. Why does he care? But the thing is, this goes back to our policies here in the United States. The reason we're the world leader in coronavirus deaths deal to our federal, state, and local policies and our total ineptitude to be able to take care of what could have been a very simple situation. And it's because, we got to have our freedoms. We got to send all our kids to school. So even here in North Carolina, they're starting to send kids to school. It will be a raving disaster. Watch what's going to happen next. And the thing is, we're going to try to socially distance kids. Yeah, right. Good luck with that one.
Well, Ben, I got to ask you this question because your prime minister did get COVID. So he's not telling people it's a hoax, is he?
No, nobody.
Not anymore.
No. I've had family members who've had it. It's not an hoax, is it? Let's be honest with you. It's something we've got to adapt to and to learn to avoid, as Nick says earlier. Because like Nick says, when you're on the ventilator and less breath, there's not a lot more you can do. It's not a position that you wish anybody to be in. But it's the problem is that our prime minister got a lot of sympathy, and then his key advisor went and travelled, and as always the public then say, well, he did it, I can do it, not taking any social responsibility themselves. Not thinking, well, okay, he's done it, but I don't need to do it. They went, I'll do it, and then we've had fat teachers and everything. I just don't. It's just your own responsibility tells you. Just play it safe, because if you get it and you get the worst strain of it, there ain't no more playing safe. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, the game's over. I mean, the thing is, so my position is that we want to do that. In other words, you want to do social isolation as much as you can. If you do have to go out, wear your mask because it gives you something rather than no protection whatsoever. This whole idea of, hey, we're going to get back together normal ain't going to happen until the vaccines come out. We do know they're out right now, but they're going through tests. To make sure that they're safe and they won't kill you faster than the COVID-19. But that means you got to wait till the end of the year. Too bad. In other words, it's like, I can't wait till the end of the year. I got to go to the bar tonight. No. I mean, the thing is, but our leadership is inconsistent. And the media is also inconsistent.
A nice term for it.
What?
Inconsistent. That's a very nice term. That's very
all right. I'm nice. Okay, I'll rephrase, counselor. Our media and our leadership are incompetent because you're right. Inconsistent is too nice a word. No, unfortunately, we have incompetent leadership and an incompetent media that delivers the message. And so the thing is, yes, there's a way to control this. Yes, there's a way to stop it. New Zealand, I thought, did a good job, Rakesh. They basically hunkered down and got her done, and basically almost eradicated it. I think they did a great job in Malaysia, although Sharif has
kept those people from the UK out. They would have been eradicated.
The UK was horrible. I mean, are you kidding me?
Didn't they come to New Zealand and start a new?
Is that what happened?
That's what happened.
The UK.
They did, but they were caught, and then many of them are going to face charges.
Okay, listen, we know it's all Great Britain's problem.
It's all
Great Britain's fault. Okay, as a matter of fact, they did studies. Okay, that New York City, the reason why they were infected weren't people from Hong Kong coming over. It was those bloody people from Great Britain coming over and infecting all the people in New York City, killing 20,000 people. So at the end of the day, just realize this, all the viewers. If you have coronavirus, it's Great Britain's fault. Okay, so the thing is,
England was fat, dumb, and happy, and then a couple people from England came over.
that's right. That's right. Probably English.
It was Adam and Eve. It was Adam and Eve that did it.
Yeah. They must
Right.
have been in Great Britain in the beginning.
Yeah, it's Great Britain's fault. You know, what I do appreciate what you guys did, which was really good. You did colonize
Did
60.
everything right.
Well, they colonized 62 countries, including our country, and made them speak English. So
Oh, I
like,
thought you were
by
talking-
we can have IBM TV enter 62 countries without having to change languages. So from that standpoint, Ben, you guys did a good job. Okay, now my other list of good jobs from Great Britain thus endeth. Okay, but you're going to take credit for that. Okay, great. It's good thing they take credit for that.
Hey, Nick, do you know when FIDE started, you know what its language was? Its official language?
Oh, French, right?
French. Absolutely. And now it's English.
I didn't know they switched to English. I thought the official language still chess. I thought it was French.
No, it started that way.
There are 5 languages.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
It's
you know,
English,
see,
it's
English.
French, it's Russian, and Spanish, and German, probably.
Yeah,
They
but
have
you know,
translators, but all the official material is delivered in English.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a
it's
Russian-speaking
interesting.
president.
when I was
Yeah, there is a lot of information going back and forth. Of course, English is number 1 language.
right, well, I was
Yeah, you're
traveling through. I was France. I was traveling through Italy, and even in Russia, a lot in Iceland. They all spoke English. I go, why are you doing that? Well, first of all, we watch television in English.
Mhm.
Because our kids do, so they can learn English, and it's been the language of the internet. And I thought, that's great, spasiba. I don't have to learn your language because it's horrible. I'm sorry, Alexander. It's in Cyrillic, and my wife is good at languages. We're looking at the Cyrillic alphabet, and we're going like, "Whoa, what is
Not
that?"
even a chance for me. I had this book translated into Cyrillic, and I could not. I just gave it away.
I couldn't follow it. It was Wirth and Chavosky and Formatter. I was going like, "Look, I can follow
As
Chavosky."
you know, Bobby
can't follow
Fischer learned Russian specifically to read Russian chess magazines. Know that, right?
Oh yeah, right, yeah. We used to watch Shakhmati and
Shakhmati versus SSR.
Yeah,
I
right.
had a chess playing friend who was he was stationed in Germany, and he was looking into Russian intelligence, and he came back as a chess player. He knew Russian, so he ordered all the Russian magazines, and we all thought, wow, this guy, he's not that good a chess player, but man, he comes up with some real interesting moves. And then we found out, he's coming up with interesting grandmaster moves made in Russia.
Russia, right. But, and by the way, we do have a picture of Sasha. This is Sasha in his younger days.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, that's Sasha younger days.
You can't kill him.
No, he can't kill him. He just keeps on going. And then we have a picture of. Let's see, I got one of. I have a picture of Jim in his younger days.
Oh yeah. That's what I wanted to be. Yeah.
Deadly gamesman, right there. So.
My aspiration until I went to New York City, I thought I was going to be him.
Oh, right. And then you got a lesson, I would imagine.
I got taught humility for the first time.
I was going to say that's probably a lesson in humility. I had that same lesson when I was younger. It was kind of cute because I played in my first national high school, and boy, I was going like, "Hey, we're good, but we're from the South. We got." I mean, I was going like, "Wow, there are a lot of good teams here, a lot of good players, and we're not one of them." That's where I first bumped into Larry Christensen, who was #1 on the charts.
But you recruited him, didn't you?
Of course, that's the ringer theory. Come on, Jim, that's the ringer theory. If you're not good at something, you recruit them on, put them on your team.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was with Lauren Schmidt, who you may know, and with Lauren, University of Nebraska just won. I said, Lauren, it looks like we're never going to win this thing. I said, what do you think about chess scholarships? Go good, I'll play on the team, but I got Christensen and Henley instead. Yeah.
Hey, third board's not bad.
I played fourth board. We had another master from South Florida on board 3, so I ended up on board 4. But let me tell you something. We went in the Pan American Intercollegiate. We're first team to go 8-0. In our first 4 rounds, we won every game. No draws, no prisoners taken. But
you would have been a tough board 4. Yeah.
What?
You would have been a tough board 4.
But here's the problem. Here's the progression. Right now, because I tell my brother about that, was rumor. If you took our team, we were #1 in the country. back then. If we were to enter the same rating today, we would be 25.
Yeah.
Because the players are recruited internationally. They're the top players in the world. I said Larry would be cannon fodder. He couldn't even beat the fourth board of these teams, at least if the ELO ratings were consistent. Because I don't know, there's been rating inflation, but still, it doesn't matter. We would just get slaughtered by all these other scholarship teams. My belief would be, and we would start off, rather than rank number one, we would rank like 25th. It's just that the world has changed that much. And of course, that's where we're looking at IBM TV. We're looking to bring our ratings up to number, what? I forgot where we're ranked right now, but it's not high. Okay.
Well,
We got a long way to go.
Soviet Union, because like a guy like Shirov, a fantastic player, world class, ends up in Spain. I mean, why? Why is he in Spain?
Because 3 of his 5 wives are Spanish speaking. One from Argentina, one from Spain, and one from I believe Uruguay. That's the only reason. Other than that, he would be in Latvia or in Russia or somewhere else.
Wow.
But
I didn't know you were allowed to have.
people
Are you allowed to have 5 wives in Spain? Is that what's going on, Sasha?
he has
You can
actually
do that in Alabama.
he has 4 wives and 1 girlfriend, and he has 5 children, 2 from one of the wives, and then 1 of each, the other 3. And he manages very effectively all his family setup. Actually, he was able to surpass even Kasparov, who has only 3 wives and 4 kids. So. In some ways, he exceeded Kasparov's conduct.
Don't marry
One's enough trouble.
Yeah, go on, Ben.
One's enough trouble, Sasha. Why would you give them
Yeah.
4
I don't know. We should start a new show called Chess Gossip.
Yeah, I was told that
Because
you
all
That would be a great show. Yeah.
You can be a really good investor, but that doesn't mean you're rich, because a lot of them have alimony payments, child support payments, and a lot of these, and you lose half your assets. Come on.
If you every time when you divorce lose half of your assets, then Shirov would lose 2.5 times of his assets.
It doesn't make sense for him to have assets now.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, he's got some, obviously a lot of support payments going on there, doesn't he, Sasha?
Yeah, he has, but he's kind of a type, a very happy, very joyful personality, and I think he's taken out. Look, okay, I have money, I'll pay. I don't have money, I won't pay. It's like he's not going to have a headache because of some kind of payments or so on. If there's a payment but you can't make it, why would you worry? It's a person on the other end,
Right?
Worry, but not him.
Yeah,
Right?
but how do you make money in chess? Did he write a book like Chess for Dummies? I heard that guy can make some money at chess, but other than that,
Fire on Board was a great book. That was one.
Fire on Board.
Fire on Board.
Yeah, listen, he writes books. He's playing some tournaments here and there. Lately, he organized a couple of tournaments where he was a first prize winner as well. But again, we're not talking about a great deal of money here and there.
Yeah, but when you organize chess tournaments and you're the first prize winner, you're Magnus Carlsen, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that seems to be
Learn from the best.
Yes.
No. What it is, he's there, and all the other chess players have got Jim's book trying to work out how to play. So that's what he's winning.
That's exactly right, Ben. Because it was the smartest thing I ever did in chess, and I thought, I got to get with a publisher who insults the reader in the title. That just spoke to me, and I just think that I was in the car with Lev Sakis. Sasha knows Lev Sakis. He's a great player, and he wrote this wonderful book on the modern Benoni, which is a defense in chess, and he asked me how many copies of my book I had sold, and he told me how many copies of his book has sold. And he just sat there staring at me, and he said, "I'm very jealous." Here's a grandmaster who's fantastic, who wrote a fantastic book, and he sold 9,000 copies.
You're
talking
sold
to
more than 9,000 copies?
He sold
Jim?
9,000 copies of this wonderful.
That's really good. How many did yours sell? Did you sell more than 9,000?
If you said 1 million, it would be a conservative estimate.
You had 1 million people buy that dummy book?
Domestically, in English.
Oh, that's right. We have a lot of dummies in America, so I would
It's a
say
renewable resource.
you have a bigger audience.
Talking to a wider market, yeah. Talking to a
You have a wider market. He did
One
this.
born every minute.
Yeah, it wasn't Lev Sekas. He was like a top world grandmaster. He was playing for the world championship. I mean, this is my I think he's also a lawyer by trade, and also the guy's a real smart guy.
Yeah.
You know, because I followed his career. I thought he was great. He writes a book. He gets 9,000 on this technical issue that's really everybody knows about, the modern Benoni, which I love. Here you have Jim Eade. Not even a grandmaster, a FIDE master of all things. Puh. Okay. Excuse me. Puh. Okay. The thing is, he was happy to shine this guy's shoes, and he sells 1 million copies because he writes Chess for Dummies.
I was thrilled to be in the car with him.
I was going to say you should be.
You have to appreciate, if you will take a chess pyramid. So Jim is writing for somebody who right at the bottom of the pyramid, or maybe even under the bottom of the pyramid, right? Okay, and
Jim is looking for the pyramid. Okay, so let's go.
Is writing for the top of the pyramid.
Well, he's writing on the very top of the pyramid because 9,000. Actually, I'm surprised it's 9,000. I thought it would be 900. So 9,000 actually is not that bad. So if he's writing for people, I would imagine the day rating who reads about the Benoni should be at least 2,000 and higher. And when you're getting in the 2,000 and higher, say 22, 23, there are lesser and lesser number of people who would buy and read this book. There will be some people who will buy that book. It doesn't necessarily mean that they will read this book. But there are some people who will buy the book and read also. I hope
Jim's comes free with a chess set from Amazon. That's how he's got it. So you buy a chess set, you get a free Chess for Dummies book, don't you, Jim?
No, well, I can see Jim has a lot more appeal. As a matter of fact, the thing is, there were some commentators just saying, "Oh, it was great to have Jim be there on the set with me and all this other stuff." I mean, he actually has a fan club. It's just really weird, and I never really heard about him until IBM TV because he's on that left coast. Yeah. Not the East Coast, and for some reason the left coast players don't play in tournaments on the East Coast of the United States. So I didn't know there was such a communist hideout.
Jim, let me ask you. I think you wrote your book in about 1995 or so, right?
It was published in 96, but yeah, I did most of the writing in 95.
It's about time. It's just about time to write the book, The Chess for Kids of Dummies.
Just forget the dummies.
Because they all have kids by now, so they have to educate their kids.
Well, I say this to anyone who's writing a book, think about your target audience. My target audience was the parents of a gifted child because the child had a talent in chess and the parent wanted to be able to help them, but they didn't know the first thing about chess. So they would buy a book like this so they could talk a good game. They could look up words, and they could look up chess players have their own vocabulary, and so you can find out what that word means, and you can talk to your child. So it was the parents, and so these kids, these talented kids, are a renewable resource. They're coming up, and their new parents going, "Oh my God, my kid is great at chess. I don't know the first thing about it. How am I going to educate myself? Chess for Dummies." Yeah.
Okay, Jim. So, in a way, would you agree that basically by dummies you mean parents, not kids, right? Parents.
I absolutely do.
Absolutely, that's for whom you wrote the book. So
yes.
These parents is dummies. Now they have children who becoming parents. So they will be also dummies because if your parents are dummies, most likely the kids also will be dummies. And then there will be grandchildren also dummies. So it's a vicious circle. How you will break out of this?
No, it isn't.
Dummies.
Sasha, you don't get it. It's a renewable resource for Jim. Okay, because dummies keep making more dummies, and then so there's more dummies to buy the book for Jim.
Still
Yeah, the problem is that
believe it or not, it's still
the
selling.
dummies are usually very thrifty people. So since the rules of chess didn't change much in the last 25 years, never mind 250 years, so these people, they will cherish and they will put it this book probably in a safe or in a bank's deposit box to keep it there. So the kids' dummies would use it, and their grandkids' dummies also will use it. What a great investment for what is it? The $9.99.
Well, on Amazon it is, yeah.
Okay, so for $9.99, you have a book going over 3 generations of dummies.
3 generations of dummies.
It's at least 2
biggest
generations now. And
Hey, Jim, I got a great idea. What we should do is Chess for Dummies updated under the new rules.
well, this is the 4th edition.
Oh, forget the 4th edition. You have to say updated in the new rules. Why you must buy this book.
But
My first edition.
what's the difference between 1st edition and 4th edition?
The 1st edition didn't even mention Magnus Carlsen,
Oh my God!
because he wasn't around. He wasn't playing.
Oh, he wasn't even playing. He was a little tiger. He was a
Yeah.
little pike.
So I have a top 10
So
list.
people who bought 1st edition, they should write for their money, ask for money back, or to get the 4th
Ask for their
edition
money
free of charge. Right?
Fourth
What kind of
edition.
book is this without Magnus?
500,000 refunds coming up, I think, Jim. This is the longest plug I've ever seen, to be fair, of a book.
Well, we're supposed to have a book show coming up. When is this book show coming up, Ankit? Has
When
Dr.
you-
been
We are
contacting
working on the book show. The book
Well,
show we are
who knew
working on
Magnus
Wednesday. So we are working on the book show for Wednesday. It's just that time slot is not matching up, and we need a lot of more people to start the book show. So it's pending.
Okay, yeah, because we're eventually going to have a book show. Should we even invite Jim, even though he's a best-selling author? He's like,
5 books.
Where's the Chess Bible these days, Jim? Where's that gone?
I've written 5. Yeah.
he's
Check
written
my
5
Chess
books. He's
Bible.
kind of a best-selling author. Jim, are you like David K. Johnson, a Pulitzer Prize winner, New York Times best-selling author?
You know, I've been feeling really jealous about that because, I didn't even win the book that when this came out, the book that won the book of the year was a politician's book on chess. He wrote a book and he organized the committee that gave the award. So, this didn't get any awards.
Oh, really?
But if you fail to organize the committee, what was the purpose of writing the books? You should organize committee first, then write the book,
Yeah.
get book to win the prize.
If
and then
I cared about the award, I would have done that. But
So, Jim,
I'll take the royalty checks.
Absolutely, yeah.
Don't worry about the award because we will be starting the IBM TV Awards soon as COVID finishes. So the book award definitely goes to Jim to start.
No, he has to do his nomination form and everything, can't he? And has to go through the committee. Let's not just give it to Jim. Let's make him work for it. We know he's going to win, but make him work for it.
Yeah, and this guy, to his credit, he worked for it. He formed a committee. He gave them the right to give this award. And of course, when he wrote a book, which was a terrible book, by the way, he got the award.
We had the Great British Podcast Awards, and I don't know if you've heard of Chris Moores. He's quite a big DJ in the UK, and he's got this podcast with thousands of listeners. In the same category as him was the person who organised the awards, and the other podcast was a Santa podcast, which obviously must go out one month a year. And Chris Moores didn't win, and it was so funny. Honestly, have a look. Go on your podcast, have a look for that. I look for the Chris Moores podcast on it. He absolutely tears them apart. It's brilliant.
That's the way the world works, Yeah, I've got plenty of awards. I don't need any more. I don't have plenty of royalty checks. Those are the ones I want.
Mark Lee thought Rakesh was going to win.
Yeah,
Mark Lee.
Let's put what's the award Rakesh can win?
The best orange shirt of the day. Nice that is, Ricky.
Best? I think
Orange shirt, the best orange shirt of the day.
Orange shirt.
it's appropriate for the Ram Mandir. This is saffron
Yeah.
for the Ram Mandir.
No, that's Northern Ireland's shirt.
So Rakesh,
Holland.
can you tell our viewers and especially our panelists about the Ram Mandir thing, because no one knows about that.
Oh, there's the Ram Mandir is supposed to be a temple which is dedicated to the birthplace of this king, former king, who has been elevated to the status of a god. He's a bit of a funny king. He mistook a golden deer for a real deer, but anyway, that's how he lost his wife, but and then found her back. But that's wrong. And so for some reason he's revered in all over India, and somebody came up with the idea. He lived in Ayodhya, which is the place where this temple is being built, and somebody said that that's the place. There was some sort of thing there, mosque there, and they said, that's the place where he was born, so we're going to build a temple there. And because the current government is doing absolutely nothing in terms of running the country, they want to distract people, so they created this this whole noise about Ram, which I think if he was alive today, he would thoroughly disapprove of, because I don't think he wanted to be adored or considered a god. He was a very humble person from all accounts, and I don't think he would enjoy this sort of thing. But hey, people are people.
We keep going back to
And that's for the golden days, and now we don't. We believe this is Kali Yuga, and that was Satyug basically. So maybe that's why we have different people.
One thing remarkable about Ram is that he didn't want the throne.
Yeah.
He really had no lust for the throne at all. In fact, that was shared amongst the brothers, the 4 brothers.
Yeah.
They never fought for the throne. Each one was willing to give the throne to the other person, which is something really remarkable about that family. Well brought up, but that's about it.
Rakesh,
And
did
Rakesh, one of the politicians in India.
Hold on, Ankit.
Yes,
Did we authorise that, Rakesh? Did the UK authorise it? That the passing the crown? Was it authorised by the United Kingdom?
Or was this after Gandhi? All this stuff happened.
No, Ram was long before, at the time when the UK was still fighting, for all those people invading the UK at that time, the Danes and whatever.
Okay.
Before they didn't even have a UK then. It was just K, many K. There wasn't a
He's
EU
talking
then.
about the time that the Picts ran everything in Scotland. So
And to elaborate, basically, so basically, Ram was one of the king, but we treat him as Lord Ram, one of the gods in India. And Rakesh is talking about, so many years ago. So maybe we don't know. I think maybe 5,000 years ago, something like that.
It's probably about 1500, 1800 BC.
Yeah.
Around that time. So they didn't even have real palaces and things like that.
Good.
They just had modest houses, probably made of wood. Because the Aryans who came over were basically people who lived in the steppes, and they were nomads. They didn't really have the concept of palaces. So you didn't have any, residual stone bricks or anything like that. There were temples built by subsequent generations, but we didn't have that sort of thing at that point in time. We didn't have them even in most parts of the world.
well,
And Rakesh,
Rakesh,
there's only one more fact basically. So one of the politicians in India, they belong from the same state of Uttar Pradesh. She shared some information with the Supreme Court, mentioned that she is one of the generations of Kush.
One of
And he had-
Ram's brothers, sons. One of his sons. No, it was his son. Kush was his son.
Yeah. And they have some kind of proof which states that they are their, the same generation, and they are carrying that proof for all those generations. So, although it's not publicly available.
Yeah, not backed up by DNA then.
And so there we go.
Oh,
We've got the,
He went into MyHeritage or Ancestry.com, and he knows this for a fact.
we're supposed to be doing a show. Is it this Sunday on Malaysia or about Malaysia?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what time that is? Because I heard it was 8 p.m. Malaysian time. Then I hear it's 8 p.m. our time. What time is the show on Malaysia Sunday?
Sunday, right? Sunday or Friday, Saturday. Can I do Friday and Saturday? Because that time Malaysian people is little bit of relaxed. So
Okay.
I can bring all of the,
I don't really care. I just want to know what time and day it is going to be about.
okay. It can be 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. It's up to you. No problem.
Nick,
But
ask
Friday,
Ankit.
Saturday.
He's in control.
Since he knows, when is our
So
show?
basically, Friday we have a show at 9, and then we are doing a special show with the Indian Business Chamber Netherlands, which is at 1 to 3. So I'm not sure about Friday because 9 we start the show with Michael from Nigeria.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we have Nigeria at 9 o'clock Eastern time. But what about later on with Malaysia on Friday? Would that work?
Friday. Okay, like Sunday 8 p.m. Is that okay?
8
Is
p.m.
it-
what time?
Is that
8 p.m.
Malaysia?
Malaysian time.
Yeah. See
So
that.
that means 8 a.m. Next time on Sunday.
Yes.
So it's up to Nick.
Okay. All right. Give me the time again. Is it 8 p.m.
Malaysian
8
time,
a.m.
what does that mean to us?
8 p.m. Malaysian time on Sunday?
Yes.
Now my
that's
problem is
8 p.m.
I have to do my translator.
I got to get my calculator out for that
I
one.
got to do my translator.
Okay, like natural even example after the Maghrib prayer, Malaysian people actually pray at 7:30 actually Maghrib. So after that I think that's why I take half an hour. So after that we can bring Malaysian guest.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 8 p.m. Malaysian time.
It's
Is
a
what
12 hour
time?
difference, Nick, so it's 8 a.m. your time.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
8 a.m. That would be half-hour show at 8 a.m. That doesn't work in. That doesn't bleed into Spiritual Saturday, so that's fine.
Okay.
Just a minute, but or do we change dates? That's the other thing. Or are we still going to be on Sunday?
It would be
Yeah,
Sunday.
Sunday Malaysian time or Sunday?
No, if it's 8 p.m. Hey, here's the thing, Ankit. If it's 8 p.m. Malaysian time, is it 8 a.m. our time, or is it 8 a.m. Monday?
No. It's 8 a.m. Sunday your morning. Malaysian 8 p.m. Sunday.
Would it be 8 a.m. Sunday?
Yes,
It's
exactly.
the dateline, so it'll still be Saturday for Nick.
No, it's
Would it
not
be
Saturday for me because it's 8 p.m. Malaysian time. So it's a 12 hour difference. So that means 8 a.m. EST.
Yeah, but since it crosses the dateline, it's one day behind.
Well, that's what I was worried about. Is
It's
the
only
date?
12 hours behind. 12 hours behind. 8 p.m. is 8 a.m.
Exactly.
So it's 8
Now
a.m.
actually now 11 p.m. in Malaysia. 11 p.m. in Malaysia. So
It's
in
11 a.m.
USA
11 a.m.
PM.
Yeah.
11 p.m. Malaysia, but it's in US it's right now 11 a.m. EST.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you're talking
Yes.
Eastern time.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's Wednesday over there, right? You're Wednesday.
He'd be at
Yeah.
5 a.m. my time.
It's Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
See, on IBM TV, we're the only ones who have this problem because we gotta we have to do the dates and the times, make sure we coordinate. Okay,
What
so at
time
least
is
I
it there,
know what
Ben?
it is. What?
What time is it for Ben?
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, we're almost prime time in England.
Afternoon snooze time. See,
Right.
let me know when you want me.
Smooth.
Yeah.
He's 24 hours smooth time. So anyway,
I know what time it is for Lynn. It's time for the dollars.
So in the past 4 months,
Okay.
I talked to a lot of people in different time zones, so I have a calculation. in
Oh,
mind.
okay. So you already have the calculation up here.
That's
See, I
why
don't do
I
that.
Okay. 8.
Okay, at least I know, because if I'm going to invite some of these guests, I got to say, okay,
Yes.
you
Yeah,
know,
even I want, let's say if you want to extend more than 1 hour, so if it is I start from 8 p.m. maybe after that when you start your IBM show, you can after finishing these things. So yes, I want to invite everyone.
Okay. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So we'll
we
start sending invites out. Okay. And we'll talk about Malaysia. You're going to have some Malaysian people there?
Malaysian people, actually, I can bring, even if you want to.
Yeah, bring some Malaysian people. Okay. Because right now we think you're the only person who lives in that country.
That's right. That's all I know.
Okay, no problem.
We have Sharif. No one else lives here.
No.
Okay, wait. We need to listen to our overlord. Let's listen to Ben Coates, the former owner of Malaysia. Ben, what do you have to say?
I've just spoken to the authorities that be, Sharif, and you are more than welcome to bring some Malaysian people on. There you go, approved.
Okay, you got approved by our overlord. Okay, everybody, grant Great Britain.
Well, the way it works is Ankit figures out the time, and then Nick just gives signature on the form that Ankit.
Yeah. Well, Ankit sends me forms, I sign them off. I mean, automatic stamp. Matter of fact, I gave him the stamp, so he just stamps all the IBM stuff.
So that day, like Dollar Store has any sessions or something?
Oh,
like
the Dollar Store. I'm trying to get Lynn to be on more of the shows that are American shows. I go, you do a commercial here, you should do a commercial for like Jim Eads chess show. I mean, we do a lot of shows here. He shows up on a regular weekday program.
Actually,
we really got to do is record him, and then the thing is, we can say time for a commercial because you need a break. You see what I mean? But the problem is the Dollar Store doesn't sell in Malaysia, so we're gonna have to get a different sponsor over there until they open a store there. So, we're gonna have the IBM TV Awards presentation in Bali. So we're gonna have one of big awards. Hey, listen, I checked out Bali. Hotel prices are right. It'll be between there or else in the Palace that Ankit has. I like the Palace also. So we'll have to vote on where we're going to do our awards presentation. I'm good. The Palace or Bali. Bali's cheaper. The Palace is, well, it's a palace. What can you do?
So Nick, what about the UK Parliament?
The UK Parliament? Oh, come on, man. Ankit, here's the problem with the UK. Okay, in all due respects to our overlord. Okay, it's a smoggy little island that they charge you to bring your car into their city now. I mean, talk about disgusting. Smog, pollution, fog, an
Great
island.
Indian food.
No, there are no views. You don't get to see the sun. Their beaches are all made of stone. Why would anyone live there? I have no idea. I mean, come on. That is not on the list.
That's why they took over all these other countries.
They had to take all these. They go, oh, look, this is beautiful. New Zealand, we'll take over that one. Hong Kong, what a beautiful port. We'll take over that. Malaysia, this is great. We'll take over that. The reason they left and took all these countries is their country sucks. I mean, come on.
That's
They went to India, the jewel, India. I mean, anywhere but Great Britain. Come on. I mean, that place sucks. So no, that's not a vacation place. That's a place to leave. Okay. Now,
I feel like I should do an advert here. Thank you for listening, UK viewers. If you would like to be part of IBM TV, you are made to feel most welcome.
You are welcome to listen.
What about you? Welcome to you, San Francisco viewers. You will be made to feel very welcome.
And then they parade around their king and queen. Okay, king, queen. Okay, listen. If you got the king and queen on, or whatever the heck they are, I guess they have a queen now. I don't know. Okay, if you parade them around, everybody goes, "Oh yeah, queen." I mean, they live in a medieval society. And think about it. You're the world's largest democracy. They're the world's largest medieval society. Why would you have your IBM TV?
I'll tell you why.
In the world's largest medieval society, it just doesn't make any sense.
I'll tell you why. Because I heard that UK Parliament is on rental basis. They rent some of the auditorium, but it's not available around the world. So that's why I thought we could.
We could rent the Parliament out. I understand that, but see,
that's
not the problem. That's not the problem. The question is, do you really want to be on this smoggy island? When we can be in a palace in India.
I wanted to go there just to know that how what are the qualities they have so that they rule 62 countries, including India.
They don't have any qualities. Jim just described it. Jim described it. The reason they left and colonized everything is they hated the place they lived in. So
they still have the best Indian food I've ever had.
No.
There's no compelling reason for anybody to ever want to go there. I'd rather go to Greenland. At least it's interesting.
The theater is wonderful. The theater is brilliant.
I'll be due to go to Lynn's advert. I've had enough
UK.
now.
You mean there are some redeeming qualities about that island? I didn't know. You know, I even go to Australia. At least it's a bigger island, right? Australia's a big island, so you know.
You go to the theater there, and you can have third-rate actors by their standards, and you're blown away. They're
Really?
marvelous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So they have good theater there, right? And Jim will go there because he thinks the Indian food's good.
The
Okay,
Indian
but I mean, he has Indian
I've
food.
ever had.
I would rather go to India, Ankit, and have real Indian food at your palace. Okay, I love your palace. Okay, I'm totally sold on your palace.
But
I like
Nick,
Bali. I like where Sharif is. Bali's great. Great
Yeah.
price, 5-star
TV's cheap.
hotels. Okay, I'm good with that. UK, that's not even in the running. Are you kidding me?
Expensive.
Infested with coronavirus? Come on, infested with coronavirus on top of everything else? You do your checklist and everything checks off wrong. Coronavirus, small.
I gotta look at the currency exchange rate before I go.
Lord, no, they'd have to pay me way too much money to go to that island. I mean,
Nick,
every
we
time I look at
did not do a proper greeting for Lynn. We did. We
Oh,
did.
yes, Lynn, yeah, from our
Now we
dollars.
got to do
Thank
this.
God, thank God for that.
Worthy Lynn. Worthy.
Great Britain gets a great break.
Thank God for that.
Hey, Ben, do
sure.
we have a lot of followers now? Do we have a lot of followers in Great Britain? Did we attract them?
Ask Jim. I mean, we could just tell through the Chess for Dummies book sale, surely. Sure, that's I mean,
lot of royalties from UK.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, notice they're called royalties. That's
You
where
know, but they had to translate it into English.
So since we are taking a break, this is like ESPN on steroids. People can watch that show. We have our commercial break from the dollar store. Lynn, tell us a little bit about the dollar store, our commercial sponsor.
So thank you very much. I actually, Sharif was trying to say something there, and I think he was actually trying to be serious. But anyway, as opposed to all the rest of the people, but he can finish up when I'm finished. So anyway, our family owns what's called the Family Dollar Store. It's an online dollar store. You can find it. Boy, does everybody hear the background noise that I hear?
Yep.
Is that
Yeah.
me? Am I the one that's causing it?
Are you still hearing something now?
Yeah. I can still hear the background noise. I don't know whether you can. But anyway, so, okay, no, we're fine now. So in any event, we own an online dollar store called thefamily.dollarstore.com. And we are supporters of Money Masters PBS and the mission. We love the mission, which is to narrow the gap between poverty and financial sustainability. We by providing financial education and financial fitness. And because of COVID, there are a whole lot more people today in the world who really do need financial education and financial fitness, because a lot of people are suffering, and I believe that Money Masters and IBM TV can help them. And one of the ways is to shop at the dollar store, because we have a lot of products which are a lot less expensive than people are going to find by going to a normal brick and mortar store. And especially some of the products that we have for women, like the masks that women put on to make their faces look beautiful. I know Jim wants to try it because he needs to beauty up his face for his chest show. But anyway, but we have lots of stuff. And I need Jim to be involved here, because Jim is sort of my straight man. And so there he is. So here's the thing. We have face masks. Okay. Think about that. I was listening to somebody today who had face masks where you could put your name on the face mask. He said there were 2-ply. These happen to be 3-ply, and you have to buy a minimum quantity of 50 of them at $5. Well, we at $5 each. We have 50 of these for $25 on the website. And right, 50 of these masks for $25. Now, I mean, they have multiple uses when you think about it, because we all are concerned about getting computer viruses. So if you're concerned about a computer virus, just wear your mask and you won't have to worry about getting computer viruses. But the thing is, you can get 50 masks for $25. And because we have something that's akin to a gift card, they're called gift tokens on the website. Okay. You get $5 just by signing up to become a customer. So Sharif and Rakesh, we're suggesting that you guys need to sign up because you know people here in the United States that you can send your gift tokens to. Not to Jim, because he seems to want everybody to send them gift tokens. But so if you buy these masks, okay, and these masks cost $25, you apply the $5 gift token, they're going to cost you $20. And what does it cost?
Oops.
Well, wait a minute. Oh, no, Jim. That's
I know.
That's if you get extra gift tokens. So it's going to cost you 30 cents if you get extra gift tokens. Oh, there goes my landline. I can't stand it. So
$20, or if you get one token, it's
Yep.
40 cents a minute.
40 cents. 40 cents. I always need Jim to do this for me. But here comes Mark. And one of the important things that Mark is here for is because he's a member of the Minion Napkin Club.
Oh, where's
So
my
so we need to be sending Minion napkins out to everybody. Kimberly started the Minion Napkin Club. Okay. So Ben, I want to thank you, and Ankit, I want to thank you because you both have become customers. And I know that you know people here in the United States, so you can send your gift tokens to the people here. Or the other thing you can do is buy for people here in the United States and have it shipped to the people in the United States. So whoever wants to get a hold of us, which is obviously it's obviously a sales
Getting
pitch,
bombed.
or yeah, I should blow that phone up. Anyway. So, you know, I've sort of gotten off track here. Rakesh, help me. Rakesh, you know Rakesh knows my routine, so it's time. Come on, Rakesh.
Well, I think you could go into the quantity, the value you can get free shipping from now. And you know, I think it's $25. $25. Yeah. So you know, you could go into that, and you could also talk about. You were talking about directing flows of traffic from guys like me into my friends in the USA. So that's where you left off, and now you can
Okay.
tell us what we can sell them. Sell them.
And Lynn, you can talk about all those great products you got. You know that I'm the cookie monster, so you have those cookies. And you all the time talk about
yummy.
the fact that Kim is really into the beauty products, and she doesn't have those lines, so we don't know why she's even buying those things. So you often talk about that. You often talk about the fact that Jim needs those CBD patches because he's oftentimes going to be beaten badly by Sasha. So those are some of the things that you have to cover.
I was going to get to that.
Lynn, just before you move on, I've just got your latest advert through. Let me just share screen. I've just got your latest advert through, sir.
My latest outfit?
Advert. There you go. Can you see that?
advertisement.
So Ben, whenever you have to share the screen, you have to first open the tab and then go to share, and then you'll find that screen in the.
Oh, it's only on the tab. I can't share a picture, no.
You can share anything.
Sure you can.
Yeah, share anything.
First, open the tab, whatever you want to share. Open a file,
I have
whatever
to.
it is, and then go to share.
Sharing for dummies.
Yeah. New book. Help me out, Jim. Help me out here. New book, Jim. New book.
Hey, Jim, I think we've got a new book out. IBM TV for Dummies.
Yeah. Only I can't write it. Ankit has to write it.
Yeah, I've got to set my security and privacy. So
I was actually thinking that Ben was going to write it.
What is privacy, Ben?
I don't know. I'm just trying to find it now. It's
English, Lynn.
No, I think
I've got it. I've got it. Oh,
I thought it was privacy, Ben.
You know they talk differently over there in
Ask him how he
England and
spells
London.
center. It's all wrong.
I can't depend on anything.
Don't you know? Hey, Jim, you remember that famous saying that we got here in the United States? You call it tomato, I call it tomato.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh.
Wow.
I love it.
Oh, it's so.
On that note, and I got
What are the reasons you want to?
Before you go, Mark, I have to say that all the bashing that Ben takes from, especially from Nick, I have to say that notwithstanding what everybody else says, Ben, I think you're a great guy.
Thanks,
So-
Lynn.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. Ben is an amazing guy. There is actually and I know that we've got this international audience, but there's a place in North Carolina called Chapel Hill. It's where UNC plays, where Michael Jordan and all of those folks were at and everything. But they have a store called I think it's called Cattails or something like that. But it's basically a place where you can go and pet the cats and eventually adopt the cats if you want to. But when COVID first came out, there was a sign there, and the sign was basically like, we are going to leave y'all alone. We don't want y'all to come over here because y'all have the cooties. So we want y'all to stay away because y'all have the cooties.
So Mark, did you hear, Mark, that we got some new items on the store?
I heard y'all got some new items. I'm really upset because I hear that, after a while, y'all might be up to 5,000 or 6,000.
Yeah.
I have a limited amount of time, how much I can
Look at-
count. I actually had an idea for you while I was off, not even in the backstage. I was actually checking y'all out on Facebook and everything. But I have a new product. It's not a hammock. It's not anything really big. I think you can actually do this one for the dollar store. But Nick keeps coming on and he keeps asking Ankit about the time and the fact that it's a different time in Malaysia, a different time in Canada. Well, Canada's got the same time, but a different time in Australia, different time in South Africa, the different places that we are all over the world and everything. And I know Canada's got different time zones. So there's even different times within parts of Canada. But I think that you need to put in the store catalog a world clock. So that way Nick doesn't have this problem anymore. He can just go there and find out what time it is. And I know there are world clocks.
I've got a world clock.
That's right. Yeah, you can do that here. So
I know what
anyway,
time it is in North Carolina.
I'll tell you what. I also know that it's getting time for Ben to do tea and scones. Isn't that right, Ben?
It's high tea.
Yeah.
It's high tea for Ben. But Lynn, what are the reasons I would want to shop at the dollar store?
What? Say that again.
What are the reasons I would want to shop at the dollar store?
Well, here are the reasons why you'd want to shop at the dollar store, Jim.
Save on gas.
And reason number one is that you would want to shop there because things are significantly less expensive than it would cost you elsewhere. Number two, we have quality items. And I'm going to say lots of quality items, name brand items, Dove soap, Johnson & Johnson, baby, whatever it is. Yeah. Anyway, stuff from Sesame Street, stuff from Fisher Price, stuff from lots of well-known brands that you can get on the dollar store. And you can get them less expensively than it's going to cost you elsewhere. So 2 reasons. One, you don't have to go out because it can be delivered right to your house, unless you happen to live in my small town where we don't have mail delivery. So I got to run down the hill to the post office. But 2, because you don't go out, you save money. You don't spend money on gas. You don't take time, and we know time is money. So that's one of the reasons. 3, you get quality products. 4, you get free delivery. If it's as Rakesh said, we give free delivery for any deliveries over $25. 5, you get gift tokens, and that's like getting something for free, like getting a gift card that Jim's going to give you gift cards, okay? Which, by the way, Jim should do for everybody on the show. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But the point is, the most important thing is you're supporting the mission of Money Masters PBS. Oh, and remember, Mark has gotten up to item we have over 4,300 items now. Mark got to 4,119 and he stalled. So we need to get him, give him a kickstart again so he can start looking at the rest of the items. But what we're going to do is keep ahead of Mark. So right now, there's more than 181 still to go. I can't remember how much we added, but we're going to keep adding so that Mark has to keep looking at the site. And then one day what we're going to do is we're going to have a full 4-hour show so Mark can talk about every one of the 4,300 plus items that we have here. So
I can definitely do that. That's no problem. Jim will tell you that I have no problem with having conversations, and we can do a 4-hour show with each item described into a T and everything like that. But I got to get to all of them. So I do understand that. I did have a question for you. If you can give us an idea how much it would the Dove soap cost at the dollar store, because I just made the mistake of running up to the convenience store, and I'm sure it's much cheaper than you're going to charge me and everything. So give me an example.
It's less expensive. And Jim, and we have a number of new CBD products that you can get, which Jim just showed you. So he actually has the bottle, the CBD bottle. So we have lots of stuff. What is that?
These are the gummies.
Oh, the gummies. Okay. Yep. CBD gummies. So Mark, when you get your cookies, you can also get your CBD gummies at the same time.
Hey, sounds
Why
like
not?
a good deal.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
the most
liking
important reason, Len? The most important reason for shopping at the dollar store is to support the mission.
Support the mission of Money Masters PBS, which I said before, and bye to Rakesh. I really enjoy seeing him because he's one of the few people that really likes my jokes. So anyway.
By the way, Lynn, thank you for the products. I just received mine yesterday.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. It was good.
Well, thank you. Thank you for signing up. And as we said before, but you happen to live in Maryland, Kirill, but people who live outside of the United States can become customers. They're going to get gift tokens. We're going to send them extra gift tokens. And because people have friends or family who live here in the United States, just like Ankit. Ankit's sister lives about 20 miles away from me. Ankit's brother lives close to you, Ketel, down in Maryland. So the point is, we even if you can buy for Ankit can buy for his brother, he can buy for his sister, or he can just simply send them gift tokens to allow them to buy more.
Exactly.
So, yep.
And after a while, we'll have these kind of great financial kind of things that you're involved in. So hopefully we'll have those gift cards and some of those other things that I know that the folks here and getting everybody are talking about getting. So glad to see that you've joined our little panel here and everything.
Better than gift cards. I've lost so many gift cards, but I can't lose my tokens.
Yeah. And one more question for Lynn. Is there any plan in future to extend the product list, having more products?
Well, here's what you should do. Send me an email and make a suggestion. We have a superstore that has 32,000 items. Now, from a stocking standpoint, we can't stock them for the smaller store. But if enough people ask for a particular item, I think Mark's the only one to ask for a hammock. But if we have,
but I also asked for the world clock, and I asked for the figurines and the panda too. So it's not just the big items that I've asked for.
But the point is that if you ask, or scones, we might actually be able to do scones on the site for Ben. So Ben has his tea. Where are your scones, Ben?
Look at my cup.
I'd agree with you, but then we both be wrong.
I like that cup. That's a great cup. Good idea.
That's my wife gave me on my birthday.
Your wife gave you that? That's dangerous that she told you that.
Scott,
what's on your wish list? What is on your wish list?
So that's why my response was that's why I don't agree with her, because then we both be wrong.
And then put your email in the chat so we can send you. I'll send you tokens.
But
Well, no, you have to do it on your customer account, Jim. You
Right.
can't send the tokens through email.
But when I send a token, they ask for his email.
Oh yes, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
just to let you know, Lynn, on the scones, we only have them after Friday Big Shop. Has to be Friday Big Shop for them.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, Friday Big Shop. It's a British tradition. You can have it if you want. You can have that one for free.
So wait a minute. Scones is only on Friday. What do y'all do Monday through Thursday?
I don't do big shops then, Mark. I haven't got the money to. I've got 2 kids, so I'm skinned.
Well, Ben, you do have those 2 kids, but they're keeping you busy. I'm surprised you don't have them on cleaning duty because usually we see them in the back doing all their cleaning that I know that you're getting them to do on a regular basis.
Just
Good parent.
Just in case anybody's listening, that's allegedly.
You should start every sentence with allegedly.
I understand that the UK doesn't have any problems with child labor. So
Bit harsh.
Wait a minute. Isn't this the same country that historically started folks working at like age 5?
Hey, listen, I love it. Lynn is starting to beat up Ben.
Nick
Great
beamed in just for
And
this.
Mark is joining on the cause. I love it. Great Britain. Okay, get the feeling, baby. Great Britain.
So
Okay.
it's
No
probably-
offense to Ben. Ben's really great. But
No.
Great Britain. Yeah, that's a good story.
no, I'm not going to beat up on Ben because Ben's the only one that gives me the proper greeting when I come on the show.
Oh,
I mean, look, Ben, what do you do, Ben? See,
No, I saw Jim doing it. I saw Sharif doing it. So there were others that were giving you the proper agreement as well. I haven't got quite to that yet.
They're learning. They're learning. The only problem is, Mark, is an hour before then come on, we spent an hour trying to get him to do it properly. It was bowing for dummies.
We were having bowing for dummies in that case. He couldn't do it properly at all.
Monday through Thursday with your tea, you must have little finger cookies or something like that. What do they call them? Finger cakes?
the pettifours.
Petty
Aren't they
fours?
pettifours?
Yeah, because you got to have something with your tea.
Depends how much tea you have. The amount of tea I drink. If I had a cookie or something every cup I had, I'd be bigger.
No, see, we can have a serious conversation, Ben, about tea because like I might be an African American brother and everything, but I'm also a Southerner, and we do like our Southern sweet tea. So that is my weakness, and I know that is not what like y'all folks in England like. Y'all are talking about that traditional tea. So there's a big difference between that traditional tea and sweet tea because you got to have the right amount of sugar and plenty of it for Southern sweet tea.
I feel a radio show regarding tea, Mark. tea time with Mark at Monday at 2.
And Mark, we are on the same boat as you. We like sweet tea.
How about Tuesday tea time?
Yes,
Yeah.
you like some sweet tea too, right? My Maryland brother.
Exactly. There is no tea without sweet. Without sweetener.
I have a lot of syrup or honey in it, Ketel, because obviously honey is a great sweetener, but also it protects you from diseases and viruses. I'm not going to say it protects you. Please don't take that. It protects you from coronavirus, viewers. I'm not going to go that far.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, it helps. Yeah.
Nowadays, we can believe anything, whatever you say. If it fights corona, we'll start drinking honey.
Honey
Oh,
lemon.
we didn't tell you, Ben. Nick is in the process right now of tweeting that, so it's going out nationally.
I am.
and it will
I'm actually
become
going to send
the
it
big
internationally.
crazy story that tea is going to solve the problem. Nick is right now tweeting that. Aren't you tweeting that, Nick?
I'm doing it right now.
I'm just
Use
reporting.
Solved.
Use the reference, like instead of injecting Lysol, just use drink tea.
I'm just.
People relate that sentence.
I've just got to report Nick's tweet. Hold on a minute.
I'll be back.
I'll retweet.
Well, then I
Jumped
think,
off because he's got to go figure out whether he's been reported or not.
Oh dear me, he's gone as well.
Today we are discussing about digital economies.
I'm
Sorry?
What'd you say?
Okay, guys, I found the cure for coronavirus.
Oh, good. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's in the mouth. Yeah. Don't take it.
Listen, it kills coronavirus.
You
I've
want
heard
to take it orally.
it'll work. There you go. We have our solution.
Yeah.
Just had to find it.
So, Sharif, what do you got to tell us today?
For what?
Your new show.
No, basically for Sunday, actually, I have a huge pressure because Sunday, all of the IBM TV guests and everybody joining. So I'm just planning for that. And a new show, yes, definitely, as usual. I just want to start always with the small things. So maybe we can start with Malaysia and Singapore. So hopefully all of the important person from different part of Malaysia and Singapore, they're going to join there. And step by step, we will explore this session.
Yeah.
That is my plan.
So Sharif, are we going to have some Malaysian musicians or some Malaysian entertainers or anything out of the Malaysian cultural world? Because I love the cultural world around the world. So I'd love to see what kind of things y'all have going on in your country.
Yes, Malaysian have many interesting cultural, especially singers and even many interesting people and activities they have. And I love to share some of the Malaysian, especially different cultural activities from Kampung. Kampung means village, so they have a very good music and other things. Definitely, I try to bring them on the show. So hopefully people will enjoy different. And Malaysian food is very famous, and they have a very diversified culture, a very interesting culture. So this is interesting. Another thing is that I think that for Islamic finance, Malaysian and Dubai, UAE, is a very famous for Islamic finance. So people can learn how actually Islamic finance work. Even they have many economical aspect. Let's say oil industry, even the tourism industry. So these things people also can integrate it. And yes, this will be, hopefully it will be interesting.
Well,
I'm looking forward to it. And Jim, I'm thinking that there might be like some pretty Malaysian woman, kind of like Alexandria. So you're gonna fall in love with somebody else. So I'm already worried.
But I gotta ask, if you're gonna do something about Malaysian food, I think you should have Vivian do it. Because when she does the food presentations about China, I get hungry.
So Vivian will be doing the show in half an hour from now. Right now we have Ketul talking about fintech and payment, and we'll be discussing about digital economies with Ketul today. So Ketul, what do you have to share with us about the digital economies and how the economy is changing with digital payments?
So before that, I have a question for Lynn. Do we have any plan for a family dollar store app for the phones that people need in future?
Great question.
Like a mobile app for family dollar store, so people use and order stuff from their phone instead of like going to the website.
Right at the moment, Kettle, no, but that's a good idea.
Yes.
And I think it is. As I've told you before, I'm one of about 110 stores, all under the same umbrella of a company called Dollar Store USA. And so to do a specific app for our store would be something that I would have to do unless the company decides to do apps for everybody's store and then set them up separately, which is something, by the way, that I will ask them because I think it's a good idea. And it's interesting because people here have given us good ideas. For instance, David K. Johnston noticed something on the site the other day and sent me an email about it, and we're making some changes to the site as a result of what he saw. And then what he saw got me into a conversation with my daughter, who owns a separate store herself, and then we found something else that he didn't bring up, but we wouldn't have looked at it if he hadn't made his suggestion. So your suggestion, Kettle, of doing a app that you can put on your phone, I think is a great idea. So
Yep. Because the reason why I'm saying, because recently there was a news that Apple acquired a payment company recently to actually have build like a phone like iPhone as a point of sale system. So instead of buying any hardware, it's like you can put your phone and take a payment from there. So like for example, if you have like a normal mom and pop, you don't need to look for any hardwares or nothing. As long as you have internet, you just open your store in the morning, put your phone as a point of sale system or connect with the monitor or something, and then you start taking the payment. So that is recently they are in the pipeline, for the Apple that they will introduce in next year or something. So it's good for a lot of Apple users gonna start using mobile phone a lot for everything. So I think it's a good idea to have your app also there. So people because like how the Amazon today, right? It's on your phone, so people just adding. And one more thing I noticed, so I'm not sure whether it's true or not, but it's good to check. Is like, let's say if you add a product on the cart, but before checkout you log out, and when you log back in, does your product stay in the cart or the cart will be empty?
That's a good question. When I have noticed that. Go ahead, Ankit.
So basically, the product stays in the cart if you have added the product, so it's there. So there's no problem with that basically. But they have some login issues on Family.Dollar Store, which we can work it out. And Lynn, if you remember, we discussed about the landing page. The landing page concept is the same, that if you have your own landing page, and then we can create an app so that you have your own audience, which will shop from your store, which is whatever it is, and then the backend we have that Family.Dollar Store. So something we can work it out, which gives you a direct link with your customer.
Well, that's something we've talked about, and you and I need to talk about more. But there, this is an evolution, Kettle. The whole thing is evolving. So
Yep.
I think your suggestion is a great one, and what Ankit is talking about is a great suggestion as well, because what we want to do is get people to realize that when they're shopping at the store, it's a benefit for them, but they're benefiting Money Masters PBS and the mission of Money Masters PBS. So that's one thing we really need people to understand.
Definitely. Yep. Sounds good. Yeah. And that is what the topic, what I was talking like earlier, that, it's about the digital economy. And this is exactly, where it's going towards. Everything is going to be like available on your phone and everything is digitalized. So, and that's an interesting thing. Like, I was just talking to my dad in India just like 10 minutes ago. And he mentioned that, transfer money from one account to the other account, you have to set up your account in a different way to the bank. So he basically using still go to the bank and deposit a check to somebody's account. And I was just telling them that it should not it should have something available on the banking website or the app that you can easily transfer, like how we normally do in the US. So this is exactly the world is changing and everything's gonna be digitalized. And I was just listening about there was one company who's actually inserting a chip on your body, which is payment. Or basically it's communicate through the RFID to the point of sale system. So you don't need to carry anything, probably if you have your hand or finger or something, all you have to do is tap, it's gonna work. So instead of having
how do you reboot it?
There's no reboot. It's a standard. It's a standard, non-changeable. But never gonna expire.
Kettle, did you say your dad's from India?
No, it's actually in the Europe.
No, but did you say your dad's in India?
Yeah.
Well, it'd be nice to get him on here and get the real man's point of view from India rather than the royalty of Ankit, because obviously Ankit gives us his view, but we know what we need is the real man from India. So if your dad had come on, that'd give us a different perspective. Because as you can see, Ankit's in his palace today with his golden wallpaper. It is actually gold.
And that's just the East Wing.
Yeah.
And don't even talk about what kind of gold and silver and all that he's got in his restroom. That's a shame what he's got in there. But Katal, a serious question for you though. Do you think that the banks, like the physical banks, do you think that we're going to see them kind of like fade by the
wayside?
Fade by the side, because like I said, so much of it is becoming digital, and I sometimes do wonder about the future of the physical institution of the bank, not banking in general. I know banking will exist, but the physical institution. So, do you think that banks will be around?
Banks will be around definitely, because it takes time, to go completely digitalized. And as I said, like the house, food, and health is not gonna digitalize. So it's still like people need money, people need food, people need so many things, and not everybody's like able to digitalize completely. So it takes a little longer time. But as I said, like instead of having like 4 banks in your area, is going to be like 1 bank, or probably like you had to drive like 20-30 miles to find a bank. A lot of people use locker.
We've had that. We've had that in the UK. A lot of the smaller towns and villages have lost the banks already. Just the main centres now have banks in the UK.
But here's the thing. Banks are the principal conduits by which money is transferred.
Right.
All different currencies are transferred through the banks, and every day there's $5 trillion of monetary transferred around the world. I mean, think about it. I think somebody said it's over 30 times what happens on the New York Stock Exchange, which and maybe 300 times. I can't remember the number, but everything gets transferred through the banks. Okay, and the banks, because they're facilitating the transfer of the money, Mark, they get a little teensy-weensy bit of every transaction. It might be 1/1000th of every transaction, but they make more money on the monetary transfer than they do by helping you have a checking account or helping you have walk into the teller and make a deposit. So what Kettle is saying is that we're going to have an economy that's basically going to be all digitalized. But notwithstanding the digitalization, you still have to have the conduits to be able to transfer it. So
that is also good. Like, the one interesting thing, I'll give you an example about the Apple. Like, think about this example. Like, Apple came up with the phone initially. Then they started having the apps so you can use. Then they started having the Apple Cash app. So you can actually have that, as a transfer to somebody else or pay through that app. Now they are coming up with the point of sale system and the PMS also inbuilt in the phone. So all they need is for the entire transaction lifecycle, all they need is a financial institute who holds the money at the end. Right. So if I'm not going to be surprised if after like a couple of years, you will see Apple Bank is also there.
Right.
Right. So that's all they need. You sign up with the Apple Bank or whatever, and then they will take care of everything through their phone, all the way through their bank and transfer.
And that, I mean, Alibaba already have a bank in China. They have it's a different bank altogether, but they already have a bank. And in India, we have a lot of payment banks, which is not a full-fledged bank, but they're only payment banks. So they help you pay utility bills and they help you pay basic transactions, which is having a daily cap basically, and they give you good interest as well in India. So they are called payment bank, and they're not full-fledged banks basically. So
exactly, and also and also like they can tie up or partnership with like those like local banks who's like not like doing so well, but it's still they have like limited customers. All they need is like one financial institute who holds the money, because that rules and regulations are different than actually processing, right? So if you hold that money, by partnering with like some bank, and then that's all you need basically. All you need is like to have like customers signed up as a merchant account for that bank, and that's it. Apple will take care of everything. So today, that if you pay through that Apple Pay, that transaction only go through the Apple server and the Apple network. You know, it doesn't go to any other network.
Kettle, are we not in danger of making actual physical cash a class thing then? Are we not actually in danger of saying that cash, you have cash if you're poor and haven't got the facilities to have it electronically? And also they can then become an act of defiance. I've got cash and I'm not going to use it, even though the cash is unsafe, because obviously that's one way coronavirus spreads. Are we not in danger of making cash that and making it a
Exactly, and that is.
You mean we won't be having these anymore?
That is exactly like today. I'll give you like one example. Give me a minute. Let me show you. Just give me a minute.
So I was going to ask.
I'll tell you something interesting in between that. I'm not sure about UK and Malaysia and US, but in India, if you want to print a note, if you want to print $1, which is 1 rupee in India, it costs more to print a note than just to have a digital currency.
Look how many paper I have on my hand. So this is exactly, it's like so much dirt, like, you know, there's like, because of the coronavirus, I don't really touch the money and so many paper, and you have to carry everywhere. So the whole point is like there's no point to have like, you know, carry the cash, but I would prefer like, you know, to have like a easily transfer. So like, let's say if you have anybody who's working with you, right, and you have to, right, all you have to do is like from one account to the other. You don't need to worry about all those like paper money and you know, like.
No, I agree, because that's actually what happened to me earlier today. I had a client, it's actually a good friend of mine, but we're working on a project together, and he needed to send me just a little bit of cash to get the money done and everything, so I could get working on the project. But he hit PayPal, and then it was in my account this morning, and it took him like all of 2 seconds, because like I said, we got on the he got on the internet, he hit my account by my email, and then it was in there within a matter of probably a minute, if not seconds. And so, like I said, it was quick. And so a lot of folks are using that. I do have to tease Ben and everything, because he's talking about banking and stuff like that. We know y'all don't have banks in London. Y'all are still using the apps.
Oh, here we go. We still have actually our Royal Mail still is part of the banking system, which is interesting. But yeah, our banking system is so far now detached from the towns and villages. It's becoming quite dangerous now. It really is, and I think that actual physical cash is a danger. So, also, just while I've got the attention, I've just had a message from some guys that run a big recovery tow show, the Rig Recovery Tow Show in the UK. And as we're on Startup Wednesday, their big show's coming up, and I know that the recovery trucks are involved in all our countries. So, just give a shout out to all the people that do recover vehicles off the motorways and highways. Because they've been working during COVID. They've not had a break. They can't, because obviously they keep our roads moving. So there you go. I've given them a shout out now.
Yeah, that's a great shout out. They definitely deserve it. I saw the guys that do our trash pickup yesterday. So I saw them going around. So yeah, a lot of folks that are doing that kind of work, whether it's road work or trash folks or stuff like that, definitely need to get our respect and things of that nature. So I wanted to say that, adding to what you had to say. Sharif, I just had a quick question for you, just because you mentioned the fact that that Malaysia is a Muslim country and things of that nature, or that it's a very largely Muslim country. I know that here in our churches, meaning most of the Christian churches, they're not doing any services. They're doing them virtually. And I think the same with the synagogues for our Jewish brothers and sisters. And I'm not sure about because we do have here in North Carolina some Indian temples and things of that nature. I'm not sure what they're doing, just because I haven't asked them, unfortunately. But I noticed that our local mosque was actually still having services. They're still doing noonday prayers and stuff like that. So are y'all doing services in Malaysia, or are y'all not doing services because of what's going on with COVID?
No, when actually COVID-19 control, that time actually limited amount of people. Let's say even in any conference you want to do, you can do right now in Malaysia. 250 people, they have to maintain SOP. If they can maintain SOP, then they can join in this conference. So same thing for mosque. Mosque actually limited amount of people. let's say only local people, let's say Malaysian local people, let's say I'm foreigner, I cannot join. But the local people, limited amount of people, they can go to mosque and they can pray. And definitely they have to follow SOP. Even for managing every mosque, you go there, you find there is a group of police, and this police actually managing this SOP data, everything very carefully. So that is the way actually Malaysia handling right now the mosque and different things.
Thank you. I was just curious about that because, like I said, I saw a brother that I've known for years. He's actually an older gentleman, but he actually was friends and is still friends with our basketball legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, proud of the Lakers and everything. But he actually, even though he's here in North Carolina, they've known each other, I think, for years, and he was keeping his horse for a number of years. So they are all involved in the Islam culture here in the United States. So, like I said, when I saw him and he was going to the mosque, but it did not look like it was as many as it probably usually is. So they're probably doing something similar where they're limited in the amount of people, but they were doing, because it was an event that I was doing across the street, and they were doing noonday prayer. So I know that that is a part of the Muslim ritual or the Islam ritual.
It's probably confidence as well, Mark, isn't it? You've got to be confident to go there, haven't you? Because you've got to be confident in the organisation, etc. I think it doesn't matter what culture you're in, unless you're confident where you're going, you're not going to do it, are you?
Yeah, that's very true. They're probably very comfortable in the sense of knowing the people that are going there. They're probably, like I said, it's probably just the key members. I need to talk to my buddy that I ran into that time to confirm that. But like I said, I'm guessing it's probably less folks, and it's folks that they are confident with and that they have been doing that ritual for years. Like I said, the gentleman I'm talking about is I'm in my late 50s, and he's much older than I am. Well, not that much older. I mean, he's probably close to like Lynn age. So he's like in his 70s or something like that. So definitely he's been around for a number of years, and he's comfortable with those people, and definitely is comfortable with the crowds. And I'm thinking that that's the case, that it's midday and they're probably doing certain things to limit people. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not doing temperature checks and other things to make sure that folks are healthy. And if they have the higher temperature, if there's something that's saying that they don't need to be there, they're probably sending them back home.
Mind you, in the UK, we'd be useless at the minute with temperature checks. It's that hot and sticky. We're useless with heat in the UK. We are, so we're all feeling that anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, they all have normal temperature, like hotter temperature.
So, Kettle, I'm going to have to get off, but I wanted to ask you one quick question before I get off. You were talking about the chip being implanted in people. Okay. So do you think that somebody can create a chip to implant in Jim so that he can actually beat Sasha playing chess?
That's a good question. I will research on it. I don't know how we can beat Sasha on that,
Well, because here's the problem. We're running out of these extreme patches because of all the pain that Jim has every time he plays Sasha in chess. Okay. So he's going to run the store out of these patches. So we need to have a different solution.
Yeah, I guess instead of making a chip or something, I think we should continue and make these patches by ourselves, so we can make more money out of it.
Yeah, definitely make more of the patches. But I think I came up with another idea. This is kind of like borrowing from the old days of the circuses and the Medicine Man shows and everything. I think that what we need to do is we need to have an earpiece in Jim's ear, and somebody just keeps walking around and seeing what moves Sasha is making, and then that way we just whisper into Jim so he's one step ahead. So
yeah, and that's why we have to utilize the time that what we are in right now, right? Like look at all the hand sanitizers. People didn't buy that much before COVID, and now hand sanitizers, mask, and gloves, and so many health products are out there. So I think why not all the patches and all that which is sanitized patches also in the market. I saw that every company is making hand sanitizers nowadays.
Yeah, we have them on the store. But anyway, so folks, I have to run.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn.
Yeah,
appreciate you, Lynn.
See you later.
Yeah,
take care, Lynn. Take care.
Yeah, but he actually brings a good point about the hand sanitizers, because I know even here I've got a friend of mine that has a liquor company, and her liquor company has pretty much totally switched to hand sanitizers, because the same things that you would use to make those liquors, because she was making hard liquors, is what you would use for the hand sanitizer. So Southern Wicker Lemonade is now a hand sanitizer company, whereas before it was a liquor company. I think they still are selling some liquor, but the bulk of the business is now hand sanitizers.
Wow, that's meaning they just go with the flow. This is what exactly people are looking for these days. So why not? And that's why I was like, the whole the banking system and all that is also like very related now that just imagine like having your normal experience, like when you go to the bank, right? Wait for your turn on the counter and then swipe your card and then wait for the whole like the process, like where they take, and then you have to fill out the form, pen, paper, give it to them. They scan, they put that paper somewhere, right, for their stock or whatever, for their itinerary. And I'm like, do you really need that much hustle? Just like, just open your phone and transfer rather than like going there or take out money and all. I understand like only problem is like withdrawal, right? When you do the withdrawal, you definitely need to go somewhere because you need cash. But just imagine like if nobody's accept cash, right? Then you don't need money to take out. Everything is online or digital. And that's it. Then you don't need even bank there. You just bank there basically to hold. Like for example, like you're working for a company and they pay you every quarterly or every 2 weeks. Right? Now they pay you on your bank account because you need money in your bank so you can take out the cash, or you can, there's a center of your money transaction that they are. But let's assume that there is an app which is worldwide acceptable, right? Or Venmo, just like say Venmo, and you can do everything through Venmo, or you can pay to anyone through Venmo. Then do you really need bank? Or you can directly tell your company that, hey, deposit my money in my Venmo account.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I was just wondering to my brothers from Malaysia and from London and everything, or the English area, how are y'all doing in terms of y'all stimulus? Because that's what's going on here in America. We ran out of our stimulus money, and everybody's kind of like panicking because there's no money going into folks' accounts and things of that nature. So did y'all have a stimulus package in Malaysia, or did y'all have a stimulus package in London when the financial crisis happened?
Yes, in Malaysia they have this kind of package, and already for 6 months Malaysian government give for local community, they give different kind of packages for the safety and security purpose. Even individual person they get this kind of package. Even small medium enterprise, business organizations, even the utilities, every aspect actually they're trying to distribute. They have actually very good system of distributing these things. And yes, actually what can I say that yes, country wise, even economical aspect wise, maybe Malaysia not like big like USA or other country. But this time I think at least Malaysia prove they have their own credibility. They are growing their credibility. Let's say I'm just want to give an example. In Singapore, everybody actually know that Singapore is a very good place for living and very quality food place. But if you observe them, like suddenly Singapore people said, like their researchers and their politicians, even their media say, you do not have to wear mask. Then say, yes, you have to wear mask. Then again, little bit of confusions and little bit of things that still they are not. But if you see that Malaysia has already last few years, they are growing their healthcare system, they are growing their research centers, they are growing, and they are working very closely. Let's say MIT also have their campus, and they are growing the ecosystem in very, very good way. Many universities and research centers they are coming. This is the benefit this time Malaysia actually getting, like they prove that they have their own credibility, and this different package, even they have the even if it's not like big like Silicon Valley, but Cyberja also trying to innovate a lot of technology. What actually Ketu is saying about this money transferring, about these autonomous vehicles. Even example, I'm trying to introducing autonomous vehicles from Cyberjaya to Silicon Valley with one of my team, and one of the Malaysian team, they already invented these autonomous vehicles. So I want to say Malaysia has good future. This pandemic situation, they prove how capable they are. And their government policy, their healthcare systems, their economy, they have their own depth. But step by step, every country is improving. So Malaysia also need to improve. But I think they are in right track. They are in right track for handle this pandemic situation.
And what about you, Ben? Are we getting those kind of stimulus packages? Did the money run out? Is it still going on, or how is it being handled there in the part of England and everything around that area?
Who knows is the truth, Mark, and that is down to the banks. Yes, we've done stimulus packages. Yes, we've done. I was saying earlier on in the broadcast that the government have covered all wages for people, and that's coming to an end as of August the 1st. Now people have to make contributions there, tax and insurance contributions, and then October the 1st it closes down completely. So, and also we've had things like bounce back loans. We've had something called CBILS. We've had something called self-employed income support schemes, and they're all coming to an end. And of course, that's okay. You know, the government can't pay us forever. But you know, they're not opening up. They're not opening up correctly. They're not opening up the markets correctly. You know, for example, when you go to a pub, you can't go around people's houses in some towns. Well, guess what people are going to do? They're going to go to the pub to meet their friends and family, if that's what they can do. So, and also it depends bank to bank. Some people have applied for what's called bounce back loans, been declined with one bank, gone to another. Banks are claiming they've run out of money or run out of the government's money, the government fund. The truth is, you've just got to grab what you can. With the UK, you've just got to grab what you can. If you can get a grant, great. If not, and the loans are really cheap, get a loan. You just got to do what you can to survive. But unfortunately, of course, then with businesses, it's meaning the events industry is dying, which then is going to cause the second tier of events people to come in who aren't as experienced, because where do they get their experience from? From the people at the top. And if the people at the top can't afford to run events, we're then going to get the second tier who aren't experienced. That's going to cause health and safety issues, which is going to cause more injuries and deaths. And tragic situations. So I honestly, we're in such a mess as a country in regards bouncing back, etc. I just really don't know. So yeah, there is money there if you can find it, but unfortunately you've got to go and find it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a total mess, and I know it's a mess even here. I was actually surprised that some of our event people are actually starting to do shows. I know a friend of mine had a comedian on out of Los Angeles, and they were going to go to some of the parts of the United States that are, I think, having less cases. So they were going to go there, but they were going to do like 50% shows. So these were like, even though there were nightclubs, they were still going to have not like the big venues, but they were going to be like the nightclubs and some of the comedy clubs. But it wasn't going to be full capacity, which means that, of course, their pay will be down. The audience will be down. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, even in events here. And I'm sure that, like you said, those are going to be some second tier type promoters and things of that nature. So yeah, it could impact folks in terms of injuries and things of that nature, even here where we are in the United States, whether that's Durham, where I am at, Durham, North Carolina, or whether that's other parts of the area. So definitely I can see where it's going to impact the entertainment industry. I know Broadway is talking about they're not opening it at all. And when I've talked to folks, they're even thinking that the entertainment industry may not open until the summer of 2021. And I've even heard some people say 2022, which is downright scary because I'm also in the event business as well.
There's been a press release in the last half an hour from Glastonbury, and I'm sure you've all heard of Glastonbury, that 2021 may well be off. That is scary. If 2021 Glastonbury is off next year, which is 10 months away, that's a harrowing thought, that is.
That's a very harrowing.
Actually, yesterday I was listening Marriott CEO's interview on one of the news channel, and they mentioned that they need funding from federal, right, for next at least a 6 months funding to survive. Not even being on the profitable or anything, but just to survive and for 2021. So they can be at least up and running their business and hopefully they will be able to back to the normal day-to-day lodging environment. But it's not sure, like, they are not sure, like, how to even get that money from, or like, who's actually sanctioning that part. And so it's a bit like we are actually not in a loss. We are in like a deep hole right now. To get out of that, it's really hard.
The problem you've got, Ketel, is we're just about to go into the indoor season. We've just got confidence in the outdoor events that if, as long as you can socially distance or arrange some distancing, they're quite safe in the outdoors. And we've just